Doma Sports Talk, worldwide, with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, give you things a little bit that's going on in the world of boxing right now, right? We have boxing entities, boxing websites, and stuff like that are just kind of acting like they're not really boxing fans, maybe brawling fans, right? Saying things like hit and run style or hit and not get hit style, and kind of saying that in a negative way, in a negative light. And we got to really wonder, what is boxing? Isn't that what boxing is? Give you an example. You know, some people drink a lot, some don't. You know, I'm one that doesn't drink that much, right? So, you know, if I drink a wine, I just drink any kind of damn wine as long as it's like half dry, then I could probably drink because I don't really care, you know? But you tell that to a wine connoisseur, he gonna be like, man, that wine, that cheap old wine you drinking, you don't know nothing about wine. You gotta drink this expensive old wine here. This is good. And then you taste that and be like, damn, that don't really taste good, right? You like that cheap wine because you're not really into wine. You know what I mean? Or you go to a art gallery, you know, exhibition. Look at some of that art. Just look like somebody wrote their name down under something, put their hands in some paint and put something up there, up, down, left, right, threw something against the wall, put a cool name on there, and it's paint, and it's art, right? To you, that's what it looks like. But to the trained eye, it must really be art, right? So, to the trained eye of boxing, damn it, that's what it is. It's hit and not get hit. But boxing websites or whatever it is, Boxing News 24, who I call the Fox News of boxing because they don't have not anything ever positive to say about a boxer of color, these people keep coming out and say about Shakur Stevenson, even after the ring was smaller against William Cepeda and he goes in there and handles his business without moving at all, which was actually silly to do, but did it anyway and proved that he can, and he's never ran. Still talking about his hit and not get hit style, which should be embarrassing to say as someone who's representing America. Because if you go on international news, there's an American flag next to this kind of crap, right? And complain about hit and don't get hit style, or Devin Haney's been running forever and he hasn't been, right? Say Terrence Crawford has a dull style. This stuff they say in daylight, right? Daylight. Now, we have people like Alexander Usyk, who I would say is a hit and not get hit style, but we ain't complaining about it. And y'all know I'm an Alexander Usyk big fan of him, but we're not complaining about him not getting hit because that's what the goal is in boxing. If you can hit your opponent and not get hit, that is the goal. But we have these people who just can't seem to get rid of this racism. And I don't think they're still not learning, even though we do this stuff like it, because it is what it is in New Russia. You know, right now you got people talking about Obama and treason, right? With no proof. But then we had treason with a whole bunch of white boys that's running with Confederate flags in the middle of January 6th. That's treason, and they running around amongst New Russians, right? Pardoned. So we're looking away from treasons. Imagine this, guys. Imagine your president that was never racist, ever. Think it would get this far without saying racist things? He's in trouble, so now I got to start to trigger these people by just saying Obama's name. That'll help him, give him something, right? Because it's just what it is. But imagine, you think he'd get this far if he doesn't say racist stuff? Because then we would go back to normal things like presidential decorum, the truth about things. Criminality we wouldn't want somebody to have a background like that. You know, if you were president before, you know, one impeachment normally was enough for you not to get back in office, but two is crazy. Scandal over scandal, the feminists would be saying, hey, we don't like nobody who touches women where they want to, or who beats their other wives, or who's this new stuff that's going on with Epstein, all that stuff. Trump that wasn't racist, or he's playing like he's racist this bad, would not even get close. Couldn't get a job by McDonald's, let alone run the country. So I'm just saying, we look away from white crime. Even gives it good names like white collar crime and stuff like that. So that's just how America or New Russia works. So it just trickles down in boxing. You know, this is a website that says talking about boxing and complaining that fighters don't get hit often. And I told you because they watching it like BTBG, beat the black guy. And when you're watching it through those lens, it doesn't matter how the black guy is winning. You're just upset about it. So we're going to write articles day in and day out, right? They're complaining right now about Devin Haney not fighting Boots Ennis. That's the only time they say something positive is when they're talking about two black guys, that he wouldn't fight Boots Ennis at 152 pounds, right? To write an article about that. Think about how sinister you have to be to do that. You just know that Devin Haney got cheated from Ryan Garcia with dope and not coming in on weight. You see the man want to fight Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia loses and doesn't want to fight him. So Ryan Garcia's out, right? You complain about how he fights against Ramirez, but he wins the fight damn near every round, right? Then you see that Teofimo Lopez, he goes down a hard list. Teofimo Lopez doesn't want to fight. Just for the most money you ever gonna make, he don't fight. We don't complain about that, though, did you? Did you? The same people, Fox News of Boxing, doesn't complain about that, right? Blames it on Devin Haney for some kind of way. Then Devin Haney says, well, the hardest guy at welterweight has to be Boots Ennis. I never fought a welterweight, but I'm going to go on up here and fight Boots Ennis. Boots Ennis won his fights at 152. Higher, even though Boots Ennis just left. So he says, okay, I'll get to you later when I go up. I'm going to fight the next hardest guy who just knocked out Sasaki, Brian Norman. Right? So he goes to fight him. Now they're complaining that he's scared of Boots Ennis. He don't want to fight at Boots Ennis at 152. Can I go at welterweight and handle some business and fight the guy that Boots Ennis just left that didn't fight and is dangerous? All right, and then he says, can we have a dope test and can we get started? They're blaming him. You see what I'm saying? So this is the kind of stuff that's out there in the open. You guys can deal with all of this. It is what it is. I just want to put them on blast as much as possible because those are the people that's representing you, not me anymore. It's ridiculous. New Russia has to get that stuff together in a big way. All this crime, there's no one in position of power that either has a criminal background or has no prior experience to be in these positions of power. No prior experience. And we're talking about putting people in charge of police that have a sheet of crime worse than anybody that's working there and the people that they tried to arrest. So if this is how it is, it's anarchy right now in front of your face. But because it's white people, we're ignoring it. And a lot of people are. And they're being enabled by people that are not white, too. It's just what it is. So we accept this crime. And I'm not accepting it in boxing. You can hang that up. That's just the way it is. Boxing News 24 should be illegal. But they're not. But they should be. Come out with just objective articles about everything. And if you don't like that a fighter can hit somebody and not get hit, then change your name to Brawling News 24 or 24/7. And then you would make sense. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm out of here, y'all.